So those of you just joined, I am going to do these randomly throughout the day, and I'm recording them. So just so you know, I'm recording this. And most of the sessions I will, especially when we're in trading class, almost all those are going to be recorded. I'm kind of make it whatever works for my schedule because I'm recording it for you, so you guys can tailor it around your schedule, right? So that way we both win. You know, it's super important. I don't want you guys to ever have to feel like to hang out on Discord all day and, you know, be ready for any session. No, it's like you guys can go on and check things out whenever you like. So can you guys see my screen okay? You see that chart? Okay, cool. All right, let's get going. Real quick, before we start, I did pin to the top about our alpha callers over there at Acid Burn. So you guys can kind of read like breakdowns on each of the callers over there because it get kind of confusing. You know, you see like Alpha Viv, and you know, I just want you guys to know there's a few calls that are coming in that might be a little bit confusing, just because like this is like a follow-up call, right? This is an update from something that, you know, wasn't available to us yet because the bot just joined. Okay, so as time goes on, you know, all these calls are going to make sense. And it tells you right up top, like who made the call. So if you're curious on who that is, you know, Viv and Balls are actually both in this server. But you can go up here and I just kind of do like a breakdown of their styles of calls. Every single one of them is top notch. They just kind of have like their own styles. And so I wanted to kind of just do like a little breakdown for you guys in there. So with that note, let's go over ETH and Bitcoin. So Viv, you know, that's something I mentioned about the alpha callers is, you know, Viv tends to do some great technical analysis on ETH and Bitcoin. Not a ton of like altcoins, you know, and I'm with him. You know, I don't trade a whole lot of altcoins, although I wish I would have gotten into Doge like right away. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but you know, the Twitter logo turned to Doge and then it's taken off. So looking at these charts, you know, Viv mentions here, you know, some outside economic indicators. We'll get to that later, but you know, he's been calling it pretty good in regards to ETH and Bitcoin over there for several months now. So Bitcoin first chart here, ETH second chart here. They're having trouble at the top, right? And so how the price acts around here would determine if it's a bear or a bull, and what kind of scenario ETH plays out. So that's Bitcoin. Here's ETH. And here's the possible scenarios. Could head down, could head up. All right. So if you do have a large position, or even if you don't have a large position, if you have Bitcoin and ETH, you know, I would be paying pretty close attention to it right now. Let's go over to stock charts. So this is where I do a lot of my charting for ETH and Bitcoin and stocks as well. It's free, so you guys can just go up there for free. I'll just pause it here. These are kind of like my setups. It's kind of like a default setting, but I primarily use RSI, which is up top here. And that's Relative Strength Index. And that just basically tells you if something's overbought or oversold. You know, it's just all momentum. Like we need momentum with this, just like we need with stocks, just like what we need with NFTs. And then MACD down here is moving average convergence divergence. And so I'm not going to get too technical with you guys, but again, it revolves around momentum. And the things I really look for are when RSI is too hot, which you saw it here, it went over 70, and then when RSI is low. That just means, you know, overbought, oversold, right? And so when it's down here low, it tends to line up directly when the MACD crosses over. Okay, looks like with MACD, you're always looking for it to cross over. When it crosses over, that's going to likely trend the opposite way that it was heading, right? It kind of makes that change. And you can see it here. It crosses here because RSI was hot. It started dipping a little bit over time, right? It crossed right here. That means we're looking for a good run now, which is exactly what happened, right? And RSI was low. So whenever you look at these, what do you think is going to happen here, right? It's starting to cross over. It's kind of running flat. And we could see it's starting to either move up or down, just like, Viv explained. Personally, I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive, taking profits. If it gets anywhere 1800 for me, I mean, it's been bouncing a lot like this, but I usually tend to be pretty aggressive with taking profits, as you guys know. I do have a lot of $1,400 ETH, and so I'll be taking some profits for sure as we're hitting, all these outside economic indicators, which I'm going to talk about in a second. So stockcharts.com. All you have to do is go down to indicators, throw in RSI, throw in MACD, get the size of the chart a little bigger. You can do solid lines, you can do candlesticks, whatever you like. Down here you see volume, right? You don't have to worry too much. I mean, I have like the moving average, 50-day moving average, and the 200-day moving average. But what I want you guys to kind of like not overcomplicate things is to just look, at your RSI and MACD indicators along with the outside economic indicators to make, well-informed decisions when you're thinking about either buying into ETH or Bitcoin or you're selling into ETH and Bitcoin, okay? So that's that. And I also wanted, if you guys have any questions, since this is recorded, try to just keep it same topic based. That way, when I do post it on there, it's going to be topic based. So if you guys have any questions that may benefit anybody else, throw it in the chat here or speak up, and I'll answer those throughout this. So now I want to go over Llamaverse. I mentioned them a lot, but their Discord can be kind of overwhelming. But if you just get the hang of it and you walk through, they really do have great content. And so they do have crypto updates. Swarzy, he's really good technical analysis as well. And what do you know? I mean, pretty much exactly what Viv talked about. We're looking at these key levels, all right? So the key level to watch out is for 1867. If this holds, then the next key level to watch is 1915, 2052, 2144 to start, okay? So that's exactly what Viv was talking about. If it's bullish, then we're looking that way. If 1867 does not hold, the next key level to watch is the opposite, right? 1701, 1647, 1586. And, these are just using charts and technical analysis and looking for levels of support, just all the same stuff we do for NFTs, but in the crypto world, okay? And it's important you guys know it. They don't work exactly the same. A lot of, chart patterns, and you can use a lot of the same TA for NFTs. But the difference of the NFTs, man, is you're dealing with 10,000 investors, not even that, right? Let's look up Macamigos. You have a collection size of 10,000, but the unique ownership is what you're looking at, So like with crypto and stocks, you have millions of people, throwing in volume in and out and trading, right? NFTs, you have only 5,900 investors, okay? And so what do you think can happen there? Floors can tank really, really quick, or they can rise really, really quick. So it's super volatile, which kind of makes NFTs a little bit of a gamble, but also very fun at the same time because you get to incorporate art and community and all the fun things, right? So let's go back to Llamaverse. So yeah, I mean, take a screenshot of, these key levels to watch for. He breaks it down pretty good. Obviously this isn't financial advice. You obviously want to do your own research, but these are two legit players in the NFT space that give great crypto advice, Viv and Swarzy. So I'm going to occasionally do these Bitcoin and ETH analysis, trading classes, so that, because we live and die by ETH, right? That's the ethos, and when you're talking NFTs, and so and even Bitcoins too now, right? So I want to make sure we're on top of this. So just be watching very, very carefully. You can throw stop losses. Let's see. Let's look at another cool thing they have is market analysis, right? And so, as we mentioned, you have these outside economic indicators. So it's not just about, ETH and Bitcoin and NFTs and how the market's doing or how the founders are doing or how the community is doing. You have all these outside, factors that can affect the NFT market as well, right? Because it affects ETH and then it transfers over to us. And so he just has, like Jiro has also great analysis just on the overall, how inflation's going, how job reports are going, and jobs. There's some news coming out for this week, demand reports and job reports, and so these are important since we need a slowdown in the job market to get some pressure off of inflation, which I agree with, right? Because this boosts demand and therefore inflation, so we need the unemployment rate to go up actually, and job openings to go down to get rid of that inflation pressure. And so there's some economic reports coming out, and these are important, especially if you're thinking about, maybe you took profits from ETH and you have, a bunch of liquidity, and now are we thinking about, jumping back in a big position in ETH, or maybe we're gonna, jump in a big position with an NFT. You kind of want to keep an eye on these, and they happen, every single month or something that's happening, right? Looks like market edge lower as oil ignites inflation fear, and this goes into it even more. So again, you guys can screenshot this if you want. Anytime I'm on like trading spaces, if you guys ever want me to roll over here, if you don't own a Llamaverse, I'm more than happy to give you guys write-ups in there. So let me just pause for a sec to see if you guys have any questions. Unique owner help to evaluate like lower listing, better it is. So can't see the mouse movement when above the charts. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, hit me up afterwards and we'll figure that out. So yeah, unique ownership, Reaper. I mean, I'm trying to think helps TP evaluate. I'm trying to understand what you mean by that. But so when you're looking at projects, you'd rather have a high amount of unique owners. The higher the better. And what I mean by that is, you could have, one of these owners can own 1,000 of these tokens. And what happens if he dumps them all? The floor price is going to dump, right? And it also takes these cell walls and makes them hard to plow through sometimes when you see a bunch of people. If you see a bunch of red in here, that means people have over 10 plus tokens. And so they're just going to keep bricking the floor, right? Like they'll sell, say, 200 of them here, and then, I'm just using an exaggerated example. Maybe they'll sell another 100 here, right? And it's just hard to get past those floors versus a bunch of people that have one token and they paper hand and they're out of the project, and then we can keep moving up in floor price, right? So, yeah, obviously better when listings are down. Usually when listings go down, floor price goes up because there's more demand, right? So, and if you're in Magically, I'm not sure if you knew this, but you can actually click on the wall, and I'll show you what the listings are looking like for that wall. Looks like they're going down just in about every single one, which is good. And usually you see at the top few walls, you usually see it go up just because people want to take profits. But yeah, Valhalla had a few steals this morning, or like an hour ago. So yeah. Hang on one second. I love it. All right. Sorry about that interruption, guys. All right. So let's see if you guys have any more questions here. Anything, especially ETH and Bitcoin related, I'll get to it. But yeah, stockcharts.com, great spot. Looking at the outside economic indicators, we have the luxury of having, Viv call for acid burn. So we're going to get a lot of technical analysis. But yeah, if you guys have big positions, definitely keep an eye on those. And here's some things he mentions also for key things to look at. Again, those outside economic indicators. So with that, this is just a short and sweet, 15-minute. That's another thing. I kind of want to have these short on the shorter side because not everybody has 40 minutes just to devote to these trading classes. And so I want to just keep pumping out videos that are 10 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. The other one I did was super long, so I'll try to keep it on the shorter side. So again, for those of you just joined us, this is recorded, so if you missed any of it, feel free. I'm going to upload it as soon as I'm done here. And appreciate you guys, and we'll keep learning. Peace out.